Howdy gentlemen, we finished the Samsung camera modeling of the physical aspect of it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to apply some materials to it and do a a photorealistic image of it. Okay, so here's my finished model there. I have everything, all the features named appropriately, and I'm ready to go. So we have this document here that has basically the materials that will go on each part of the object. Okay, so just to kind of describe what's going to happen here, I'm going to start off with the high gloss black plastic for the body here, and we'll kind of explain it from there. So I always use, there's a few ways we can put appearances on. Or materials, I always go this way. I use the little colored globe at the side, and I go into appearances, and we're looking for plastic, high gloss plastic. So I have to go in here first, high gloss, double click, and I'm going to drag this somewhere onto the body. Okay, now you'll notice there that I got four options, right? The first option is to apply it to the whole file. Now you can see up at the top there, the name of my file is 3 Samsung Camera. So what it does here is it will put it onto the whole thing regardless of what bits and pieces are in there. So it'll put it on everything. This one here, which you can see made no difference, it will put it onto a body. Now what a body is in SolidWorks is, so let's imagine when we went and done the first lens there that we extruded. If I go into that and edit the feature, you'll notice that there was a little box we ticked for all our extrudes. We left it ticked where it said merge result. So what it does there is it's like it welds or glues the new feature, the extrude, to the one that came before it, in this case the body. So it's one solid body. If I untick that there, it would be two separate bodies. They're still kind of resting together, sitting together. They look like they're assembled, but they're actually two separate bodies. So by keeping merge result ticked and putting a material on it, if I go to body, now everything was merged here, so it's all one big body. That's why you don't see a difference between that option there and that option there. So if I was to drag it onto this here, we'll say the second lens, right, and I put it onto body, if I unticked merge result when I was doing that second lens there, only that second lens would go to a high gloss black plastic, because it's an individual body on its own that's not welded to any of the the bodies that came before it. Okay, the next one is to just apply it to the feature itself. So a body can be a feature, but not a feature. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to explain this one. So I'll probably use fillet. Okay, so if I drop it onto the fillet here and go to this one, you'll see what it's doing there. All those black lines that you see, they were the fillets. They were over here, they were body fillet. That was them basically, right? And that's a feature, because you can see the grey with the little blue thing. That's all these up here, that's a feature. So if I'm dropping the high gloss plastic onto that there, onto the feature, it'll just put it onto that feature. And now here, this one is the last one. It just puts it onto a face. So just the bare surface it puts it onto. Okay, we'll get used to this as we go along. So I'm going to put high gloss plastic again on the body. I'm sure I knew what I was doing, and I'm going to drop it onto, I'm just going to put it on body. Okay, in fact, I could maybe just do that again, and I'll just I'll leave it on the body, it's fine. If we want to get into a list of all the materials we put on, you can see there's the high gloss plastic that I put on. I can remove that easily, like so, or I can go in and edit it if I want to change it to a weird color green, because in that list that we had at the side, you're very limited on colors there. If we wanted orange, shall we say, we can go in that way by going into this little colored globe here, finding the material, right clicking on it, and go to edit, and then selecting from a palette of colors. So what I'm going to do here is just remove that again, and I want this just onto the body extrude, not the whole body but the body extrude, that very first step that we done. Okay, I don't want it on the fillets there, that's a separate feature. So I just have it on that very first body extrude. That's a feature. The next thing I want to do there on the front of it, any more black high gloss plastic, I don't. So next I'm going to do the chromium plate. So the chromium plate goes on the fillets, on this surround of the button, and on the Samsung logo. They're all chromium plate. So I'm going to go into my appearances, I'm going to close plastic, open metals, chrome and chromium plate, and I'm going to drag it onto the fillet and I'm going to select the body fillet. Okay, look at that name there, body fillet. That's the one that comes up over here, body fillet. That's what, so it recognizes it by the feature in the design tree. So I'll put it onto the body fillet. Now it doesn't look as if much happened there, right? Because I'm not in kind of photorealistic mode. It just went to a different shade of grey, but it is there. Now I could do that again for this surround here or the Samsung logo, but what I'm going to show you now is how to do a copy and paste job. So I can take a material on one feature and I can copy it and paste it onto another one. It's very simple. Right click on it, go to copy appearance, go over to the new one here, right click on it and go to paste appearance. Now there's actually two different ones there. I wanted to go onto this one here as well. This was a fillet, this was an extrude, so it's a different feature, so it requires me to paste it on. See, the button surround extrude, that's what I named it. And I think on this one here as well at the top, paste appearance, button surround extrude. Oh yeah, no, it was done already. Let me just double check that there, paste appearance on button surround fillet. Okay, now it looks all the same. So we had to put it on just the two things there. Now go into the Samsung camera, click on it, right click and paste appearance and put it onto text extrude. The next thing we put on then is brushed aluminium on the button, brushed aluminium on the three lenses, including the chamfer and this little chamfer in here. Okay, so we're going for brushed aluminium, and we'll do copy and paste again. So aluminium, brushed aluminium. So I'm going to put it onto the button up here. So button extrude. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to go to paste. I'm going to go to this one here and go to paste. Now I have to do this in two steps here because there's a chamfer. Paste onto the lens one chamfer, and here paste onto the lens one extrude. Now I don't know if it's after going onto this one here. I'll just try that again. Paste appearance. There we are. I don't know why it didn't go on. Maybe I clicked something else. Paste lens 3 extrude, and I want it on this chamfer in here because that's another feature. Paste appearance like so. And do you know what, I'm going to put it in here as well. Paste appearance, and that was the shutter cutout. Okay, now what else we got? We have this little shutter is to be clear glass. Okay, so we're going to put clear glass on this shutter here, so we need to go into, oh god, where is glass now? There it is. Glass, clear glass, thick. I'm going to go thick clear glass for the hell of it. Okay, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put it on the shutter. I can put it on the face. You can let's zoom in and see if we can see a difference here of what's happening. No, I don't want frosted glass. Thick clear glass. I'll put it on the shutter cutout. You can see what's happening there over here at the right hand side, or sorry, in the left hand side. Drag it on, and I'm going to just apply it to the full shutter cutout. Okay, it looks okay. That's the front done. Okay, now I'm going to go on to the back. Oh, I can see what's after happening there. Why did that? Right, okay, so I need to go back here and I'm going to remove this. I don't know what happened there. I put frosted glass on it. Sorry, I'm going to undo that to bring that back. It was this one that's the problem, I hope. Yeah, there we are there. I don't know what the hell happened. Okay, I'm on the back. So let's go to page 2. We have brushed aluminium for the back panel, chromium plate for the buttons, and frosted glass for the screen. So I'm going to do the screen first. Frosted glass on the screen. That's the cutout. Now we can see into the camera like it's not realistic, but we'll just leave it as it is. And we'll put chromium plate on the buttons. And I want it to go on to buttons extrude, because remember all those 4 buttons were done in the same extrude, like so. And then the back panel was brushed aluminium, aluminium, brushed aluminium. So that should go onto the back panel extrude, and it should also, I'm going to copy it onto this fillet here. Okay, and that's the whole thing done. We've applied our materials on it now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go and do the photorealistic imaging. So it's been a while since I've done this, so hopefully I remember. So we have to go to SolidWorks add-ins tab, okay? And I need PhotoView 360, and a new tab should open here if memory serves me correctly. SolidWorks, let me just check this here. So SolidWorks add-ins, PhotoView 360, a new tab called Render Tools should open. Oh, there it is there, Render Tools. Okay, so that's not normally open. There it is there. So we're in Render Tools. Step 4 is to go to Options. Step 5, we want to change, what we're looking for here is render quality. We want to set it to maximum. Okay, so that, in fact, it probably won't go for maximum at the moment. Like, if you want to get the highest resolution and clearest image, you go for maximum, but for the purposes of my demonstration, I'm going to reduce it down because it'll do it quicker. It takes longer to generate if you have maximum set. So we have what's called the preview render quality and the final render. So I'll show you the difference between the two now in a second. So let's see, SolidWorks add-ins, and I'm going to go to Options, and I'm going to set it to, we'll just go for best and best, okay, for the moment. I can change the resolution of it here, 700 by that. Let's just change it to 1000, see what happens. Okay, like so. Now, whatever view you want, now I'm going to put something else on it before I do the render called a scene. A scene kind of makes it a little bit kind of more realistic. It just presents it better. So scenes, I'll be basic scenes, studio scenes, there's all these different ones here. So I'm going to go with factory floor. I'm going to double click it, and we'll see what that looks like in our render. Okay, so I'm going to get, I can adjust this to whatever view I want. You might want to look at it from that angle, that angle. I'm just going to go with a standard, we'll say I'm going to use the trimetric one there. Okay, and zoom it in a bit. Now back to options, what we're best and best, that's fine, and I'm going to go to preview window. Now it asks here to turn on perspective view. So obviously perspective view, as you recall from last year, it's a more realistic view of how we see things. So I would like to turn on perspective view all the time, anytime I do a photorealistic image. So turn on perspective view. Might look much different when it changes. Now this window can take a while to pop up depending on how good your system is. So what's going to happen is we'll get a final result something like that. This says go to final render. I'm going to preview window first. The preview window is kind of like, it's to give you a preview of it, like to see how good it is. And you can go with a lower kind of picture quality there. It's handy to see what your final render will be like. Just if you have the angle right, look at the camera angle looking at it, etc. Now we can mess around with lighting and stuff like that, but that's down the line. So I'm just showing you today how to do a basic image. So a window's popped up here for me. Okay, so what it's doing now is it's generating. You can see it's slow down the bottom left corner. We're up to 50% there. Okay, you can kind of see the perspective on it now, how this vertical line here would normally remain vertical and isometric. You can see that it's clearly slanting inwards, so that tells me it's perspective. And look at that now, it's much better than what it was. If you think about it in this view here compared to here, it looks great, you know. And with more fine tuning and tweaking and more skills that we learn over the next while, we'll get to like really good quality photos. So that's generating there. That's on about 50%. If I went back in now and just for the hell of it go to options, I'm going to interrupt it. I'm just going to go to good for preview. And I'm going to slightly adjust the angle of it a little bit more and zoom it in. And what it does is it updates it. So it's like a real-time kind of update. Now this one should generate faster, but it won't be as good as the maximum because I just set it to good. And this is the benefit of the the preview window. You can see, is the angle right? Does it look good? How's the shine and the lights hitting it, etc. And that's fine. So I'll just let that generate there for a while. I might just pause the video here for a second and you can join it. It'll update. I'll come back in when it's done. Okay, so it's slightly better there, but it's still on about 50.5%. The reason this is slow, it's not normally this slow, is because I have the factory kind of scene on it. If I just went with the standard grey SolidWorks background on it, it would do it quicker. But I also have Chrome in here, and Chrome picks up a lot of reflection. You can see here it's like a factory floor environment. You can see that there's lights up above it there, and it's trying to work on that detail. So if I'm going to test it out now. I'm going to remove that that's scene. Okay, so scenes are in here, and factory floor, I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to, this little box popped open here, click yes. So we're back to here, and I'm going to see what it looks like now in this here. So it might generate quicker, it might not. Quite slow actually. It could be just my computer as well. Okay, there we are. Still looks okay. What are we on there? 50%. So it's just catching up with it. Once again, I'm going to pause this. Sorry, I clicked there. I shouldn't have. I'm after disrupting it. So if you change your view, basically this is doing it in real time. It'll mess up. Okay. So yeah, that's generating there, and I'm after disrupting it. So you get the picture. Like, I mean, if I just go in and show you here now a file of what this should look like. Let's see, USB, 6-year DCG, SolidWorks, Samsung camera. Do I have? I don't even have a photorealistic image there, but it should look something like that was in here. It should look something like that when it's done. Okay, semi-decent. So listen, just work away at that anyway, and we're going to do another activity using an iPhone, putting materials on an iPhone, and a thing called a decal, which is like an image that we can kind of put on it. Like for a home screen, we can't really draw the home screen in SolidWorks, but we can use an image or a screen grab kind of a home screen, and that's pretty much it. So that's it there. Best of luck with that.